everybody. Welcome back. It's another episode of Neverland and the Runaways. This is a D&D 5th edition session set in Neverland, which will be hopefully available to you once we are all done with this playthrough stage. Before we get started, we of course want to thank Welcome to the Party, and we want to thank the wonderful sponsors of Welcome to the Party, which include Tabletop Loot, who are our amazing dice sponsor. They provide fine dice for all your gaming needs, and you can head over to tabletoploot.com and use the code WTTPDICE to get 15% off your next purchase. And of course, Maddie, my good friend of SoNerdwear.com, has an amazing merch shop that is the sole provider of Welcome to the Party merch, as well as Neverland merch. So you can head to SoNerdwear.com and use the code WELCOME at checkout to get 10% off your next purchase there. Roll20. Welcome to the Party is proudly sponsored by Roll20, the virtual tabletop that runs straight out of your web browser. You can get everything that you need, including click-to-roll character sheets, built-in video and voice chat, and you can upload your own maps and tokens. I actually just moved my regular home game to Roll20 for the first time last week, and it's been awesome. So you can get all of that with a free account on roll20.net/start/WTTP. And finally, Welcome to the Party is proudly supported by Devin Rue, who has provided a huge support to the community since our launch. And you can get some of the best cartographical content on the web by checking out rueinc.com, which is RUEINK.com. And of course, as always, please check out our Patreon, which goes to support the channel and everyone who supports it. And your generosity allows us to keep working on our mission to platform amazing LGBTQ and BIMPOC players and creators. So check us out at patreon.com/welcomepartyrpg. And as always, please join the Discord. Okay, so we'll get started real quick. Everybody, please just say hi, say who you are and who you're playing. We'll start with Kate.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kate, and I play the Tiefling Bard Auralee.
Morgan?
Hi, I'm Morgan, and I play the Dragonborn Child, Riddance.
Sarah?
Hi, I'm Sarah, and I play the Human Wizard Tessa.
And Russ.
Hi, I am Russ, and I play the Elf Child Paladin, Anuj.
And I'm Diana. I am your DM, and this is my brainchild of a setting. And last week, we left off. We had our lost ones had left the fairies. They had obtained some new magic items from them before leaving. Two of them, Anuj and Riddance, have met their fairies and reconnected that way. And they left to continue on their adventure. Along their way, they met a old portly turtle who sold them a strange new pet and also helped them to recover Anuj's missing item that they lost upon arrival on the island. And now their latest mission has been to take a pause from their Neverland exploits and to complete the ritual that Anuj didn't get to complete before coming here to Neverland. So the party has split. Auralee and Tessa were trying to find some ingredients, and while doing so, found out that they both have crushes on each other, and they ended that with a little smooch. And we are picking up with Anuj and Riddance, who are searching for the remaining items necessary for the ritual. Anuj, Riddance, will you please let us know what's going on there?
So, Anuj and Riddance are responsible for getting the fire, the water, and the sand required for the ritual. Riddance had told Anuj that he could do the fire and the sand. So
So Rin's like stands up as straight up as he can, and he goes, "Okay, where do you need the fire, and where do you need the sand? I got this."
well, I need the fire right about here. And I just kind of need the sand on like this spot. And they would like lay out like a piece of cloth to like put the sand on.
Okay. So Ridden's just like kind of looks around for the dirtiest spot nearby, and just
Okay.
casts mold earth and just lifts up just a mound of it.
Absolutely. Anuj, maybe the most extremely magical thing you've seen Riddance do, literally just tells the earth to come over here, and it does. It just lifts up right out of the ground and kind of comes and makes its way over to you.
Is it sand or is it just plain old dirt?
In this area, it is just dirt. But you're not too far from a beach, so if he can do this, he probably can get sand.
Riddance? I need sand. That's dirt.
Oh. Oh, okay.
I mean, that was
And
really
then-
cool though. You like picked it all up without touching it, so that was like cool.
Yeah, I mean, all you gotta do is believe.
Okay. Why don't we go to the beach and see if we can do that?
Okay. And the dirt just immediately just crumbles back to the ground.
Yeah, it just goes right away.
All right. So Anuj and Riddance head down to the beach.
Yeah.
And Anuj is gonna go, maybe if I believe with you, we can do more. We can get it there quicker.
Okay. And he just like does one of those squeeze, eyes closed.
Anuj does the same thing.
And, he,
And what is the goal of this concentration?
believing extra hard that he can cast mold earth.
Okay. All right. Riddance, roll me a attack with your magic ability modifier
Sure.
with advantage because Anuj is helping you believe really hard.
Awesome. So first one's a 2.
Ooh.
Good.
Nice.
Okay.
Next one's an 18 with +2 mod, so 20.
Excellent. You cast that same mold earth spell, but this time you feel extra supported. You feel like you've got the power of friendship right behind you. And what happens is you see a rumbling in the dirt about 20 feet ahead of you. It starts to rumble, and the earth starts to break up and move as it's coming closer and closer and closer to you. And it finally gets to your feet and bursts out, and there's just like a little, like an arm's length of sand that kind of has traveled its way to the beach under the dirt and popped its head up.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
And that goes on to the platform.
Okay.
What is Emmy doing at this point?
Emmy, as always, is circling and dodging between the two of your heads, circling around. Occasionally, Emmy pops up into the air and spins around in a really quick circle and goes, woo! And then comes back down. And that's pretty much it.
Emmy, you said Pop said that you can feed yourself, right? What do you eat? Okay.
Emmy doesn't have a mouth to smile with, but Emmy's eyes smize.
Smize.
Yes,
Okay.
all of them.
Do you think Emmy eats candy?
I bet that's all Emmy eats.
That makes sense. I don't
Do
know
you
if we're
have
gonna
any?
find candy on the island.
Yeah, I don't
Maybe
have
Emmy
any.
can lead us to candy.
Side
We're-
quest.
We're overdue.
I think so. We've been doing really well. We
Yeah,
got all the sand already.
right?
And look, we did our one thing before Tessa and Arlie did their one thing.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
have two other things we have to do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I got the fire locked down, so don't even worry.
Okay, now water. We need fresh water.
Okay.
The only fresh water that I know of is around some mermaids.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
all right. Anuj
So
is
we're on the
going
beach,
to,
right?
yeah. Anuj is going to grab the heart bowl and head over to where the mermaids are to get some fresh water.
Fantastic. Arlie, Arlie and Tessa, what are you doing? The children are running away.
No.
The children are running away to the beach. What
Which we
what are
probably don't see because we're a little bit off.
You're a little occupied at the moment.
Mhm.
Yes,
Yeah.
you've just shared a very nice first smooch after confessing your like for each other. And what else are you doing now?
I feel like I'm doing that like Animal Crossing joy emote with like the
Just
flowers.
the flowers.
Yes. Good. Okay. Lovely. As you do this, you notice that the sort of nice, overcast but still very bright day seems to get brighter. The sun seems to move directly overhead into the sky, which it was not before. Clouds start to move away. And you even look to the ground, and a couple of brightly colored springtime looking flowers start popping up around you. The trees look fuller, and some birds start to fly and perch on all the trees around you and start singing.
Goddamn Disney movie.
Yeah, we're in a Disney movie right now.
Yeah. Actually, though,
Yeah,
I look down at the flowers suspiciously. I don't trust them.
same.
They do not take any malicious action against you.
Thank God.
They
Excellent.
look very nice. Pinks and greens and yellows and all sorts of pastels.
These are beautiful. I
Yes.
still don't trust it. And I don't like the
No.
fact that it's reacting to all of this.
No, that's odd. I mean, everything about Neverland is odd, but
Yeah.
this I think might win.
Yeah. This is
Mhm.
this between you and me. That's really nice. This is
Right. Yes.
unsettling.
This is nice. This is weird. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we should finish getting our things and
Yeah.
head back.
Yeah. Good idea.
Okay. And I'll squeeze
quick,
her
yeah.
hand and then go back to picking herbs.
Yes.
Okay. And what were you two responsible for collecting?
Herbs.
Herbs. I don't think we had any details on what specifically.
I generally said herbs and like gave the specifics in character.
Oh,
The other thing that Anuj mentioned was
I did
something.
not write them down.
I didn't list anything specifically
Okay.
as Russ. But the other thing that Anuj had mentioned was something called the breath of wind,
Mhm.
which Anuj doesn't know what that is.
The breath of wind.
Anuj said that they need the four elements, so fire, water, sand, and then the breath of wind is supposed to be air, but Anuj has no clue what the heck that is.
So Tessa, being a bit of an expert, is doing a lot of herb collecting, just sort of based on general knowledge of what things might be used in rituals more often, what might be most helpful, just kind of drawing on some of that experience and memory and picking what seems the most similar. Arlie, going with some intuition, can you give me a wisdom check to see what you can find?
Sure. Me with my not so wise self. Oh, it's not terrible. 14.
You don't really know what you're looking for herbs wise, but in looking down at the ground and scanning the plant life around you, you notice some new flowers that were not there before, like the rest, except unlike the rest that are nice and brightly colored and beautiful. This one is then they've just popped up suddenly everywhere. It's this kind of weed. Um, it's just a stem with the little white little seeds all over it in a kind of globe shape. You know, the dandelion that I'm referring to.
Yep.
You see a ton of them pop up, normal size, nothing out of the ordinary in their appearance, just that they weren't here before, and now they've sprung up among all these other beautiful flowers.
I mean, I'm assuming I've seen dandelions before.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you've seen them, you recognize them.
Okay. Well, I know dandelions are a medicinal herb, maybe.
I nod in Arlie's direction.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So I'll pick a few of those as well.
Beautiful. You pick and collect those dandelions. Back to Anuj and Riddance. You have your sand. Riddance is pretty sure he's got fire covered. What else?
Now we need to get water from freshwater source, which the only one Anuj and Riddance know of, I believe, is the lake where the mermaids are.
Correct. So you make your way over to the Mermaid Lagoon. And it is bright midday, and the mermaids are out as they were just earlier today, actually, when you came by. Still don't look particularly friendly to your approach. Look a little on the defensive. But they are not doing anything, not taking any actions, just kind of watching as you approach.
Okay. So Nuge is going to go ahead and just kind of holding the heart bowl in one hand. It's a big bowl.
Right.
Waving at the mermaids with the other hand and kind of just running up and being like, I just need some water. And then scooping up some of the lake water and then just turning around and walking away.
As you do that, you scoop the bowl into the water, and the mermaid's kind of webbed fingers come out of the water and they hiss at you.
I mean, do I have the water?
You have it in the bowl.
Okay, bye. I'm gonna go ahead and go.
And they start swimming behind you, coming closer to the edge of the water.
Well, haven't seen them leave the water yet. And I think Anuj is just like, thanks for everything.
Yeah. Thanks. It's good to see you. Bye.
The mermaids will now start to sing, except when they open their mouths to sing, it sounds to you more like this dissonant sound, like you recorded over a cassette tape too many times, and it sounds wrong and flat and oddly high-pitched sounds, kind of all playing at once, coming from all of them. And as that happens, the water in the bowl starts to boil and evaporate.
Anuj looks down at the empty bowl and says, that was mean. Why'd you do that?
Riddens tries singing with them. Like trying to match it like that.
You do a great job. It's Riddance is perfectly off key. It fits.
Anuj
Right.
gives a thumbs up to it. It's like, good job, by the way. That was good. So why'd you do that? That was mean.
Why'd who do what?
The water's all gone.
Oh, just okay. Well, there's lots more over there. Let's go get some more.
You stole it.
It's water.
It's ours.
Everyone needs water to live.
You can get it from somewhere else.
Not fresh water. This is the only place I know that has fresh water. Everywhere else is seawater. I can't drink that. It'll kill me.
Is it for drinking?
It's for a ritual and has to be fresh water.
You cannot take our water. There is other fresh water. You just have to learn how to get it.
Where is it?
The mermaids kind of look at each other a little flummoxed, like this is not their child. That they. Pan can show you how to get it.
Pan's kind of mean from what I've heard. Also, I can't fly, so I can't get back up.
I don't know how to be clearer about this, but that is your problem. And this is our water.
Can I have some of your water?
You can purchase some of our water.
I mean, I can return it when I'm done with it.
No. I don't think so.
I mean, I don't really have anything to purchase it with. And I don't know where the rest of the water is. If you could point me in the right direction, that'd be great.
How much is a water?
I mean, water at home was free.
Oh, how nice for you. Well, as you've pointed out, this is the biggest source of fresh water in Neverland.
It's the only source of fresh water in Neverland, as far as I know.
Well, that's incorrect. It is the biggest source of fresh water in Neverland, but it is ours. It is special.
How can you own water?
It is finite, so you will not be taking it.
And Riddens just walks up a little bit and goes, listen, I'm real sorry about not asking. That was rude. I apologize. Hi, I'm Riddens. It's nice to see you again. So how much is a water?
We could take a few memories for a bowlful.
I look at Riddens and I say, no.
Riddens is just like, what? That they just want a couple memories. That's okay.
No.
I'm sure you got lots of memories. I got lots of memories.
Yes, we both have lots of memories, but no, we don't trade in memories anymore. It's not good.
Anymore?
Well, me and Arlie traded a story, and I can't remember the story. All I remember is that it was important to me.
Wait, what?
When we got the map.
Aurally traded a memory?
A story.
A story?
Yeah.
Is that different than a memory?
I think so.
How is it different than a memory? If I tell you the story of a memory, isn't that the same as a memory?
Well, it wasn't the story of it wasn't a memory. I'm confused.
Riddens turns to the mermaid and is like, do you mean stories or do you mean memories?
Sometimes we like stories as well.
I can babysit.
You are a baby.
Who are you offering that to?
You, of course. If you have any babies that need babysitting, I can babysit so you can have a date night.
So this mermaid kind of like sticks himself out of the water. He's a majestically scaled, like infinitely magical creature. There are tattoos of fish and seaweed like all along his torso, in a kind of shimmering light red ink that matches the red scales of his tail that that kind of pops up out of the water. And he just sort of like hovers there halfway out of the water, kind of at this point towering above both of you and Riddance, and states, young one, I don't think you grasp where you are exactly. We don't have any children among us.
Oh,
We don't need any services. We're not here to provide a service, but if you intend to steal our water, we will retaliate.
Oh no, we don't want to steal at all. Never,
really?
never.
We just want to borrow. Are you happy with the way things are? With the broken Fey magic and everything, has that affected you? Because I know it's affected a lot of other people. And you're really the only people I haven't heard from yet. And Anuja's just going to kind of sit down and be like, I've heard from the mothers, I've heard from the scorpions, I've heard from the mollusks, but you're really the only people I haven't heard from.
Anuj, make a persuasion check for me, please.
For a moment, I thought I was about to die.
Yeah.
I thought you were about to be like, Anuj, what's your
God,
AC?
please?
Yeah. Anuja's the best. Oh my god.
That is a 21 persuasion.
What?
I have a
love
plus 4
them.
with a 17.
The mermaid kind of descends back a little bit to torso length in the water again. You've spoken to everyone else then?
As far as I know, I've also spoken to Pop. He was really nice. He gave us Emmy. And I point at Emmy. She's really sweet. She likes candy. If you know where we can find candy, that would be great, because I don't know how she's going to find candy otherwise.
All right. Here, I'll give you one thing for free. Don't give candy to the beholder. That's a free gift
Okay.
that I've decided to give you.
Okay. Thank
Oh,
you.
okay.
Emmy doesn't like candy, Riddance.
Yeah, I guess she really doesn't.
Okay.
So you said you've spoken to the mothers,
Yes.
and how are they doing?
As far Russ was not here for that session.
Yes, that's correct.
But please tell me if I say anything wrong.
Okay.
They're doing well. They're doing their best to keep kids safe, and they wanted myself and Riddance to stay, and Riddance was gonna stay, but then decided that he wanted to come hang out with us. And I feel sad because Riddance wanted to stay and he felt pressured not to, but I'm also glad that Riddance's here because Riddance is my friend.
Oh, well, that's all very brave of the both of you. But if you changed your mind and decided you wanted to go back, Riddance, do you remember where they are?
Riddance, why do you want to know
they...
where they are?
Oh, just making sure you can find your way back.
Well, we know where it is, and we can find our way back.
Yeah, I think we remember.
Yeah.
That's good. That's very good.
But that doesn't answer my question. How do you all feel about the broken magic?
We have adapted to our new situation quite nicely.
But
It
are
is
you
not what-
happy?
It is not what anyone expected, and it is not what we were built for, but we have adapted.
That doesn't mean that you're happy.
I'm not sure that I understand the question.
Well, are you joyous? Are you happy? Does being
When-
here, the way things are, fill you with warmth?
Yeah, when was the last time you giggled really hard?
Uh, well, we do laugh, believe it or not. It just may not be about the same things that you do.
Okay. So, can I roll an insight? Because Russ knows things and has figured out things that I don't think Anuj knows yet.
Okay, insight check. Yeah. What are you trying be specific about what you want Anuj to discern with this roll?
So, I want Anuj to try and figure out why they were asking where the mothers are, because I don't think they're being honest.
Okay, insight check.
And also kind of like knowing what we know about the relationship between Pan and the mermaids, that Pan often does deals with the mermaids. That was mentioned a while back, but yes, kind of just like putting the pieces together.
Okay, all right, roll it out.
That is a 17.
So Anuj, in talking to this mermaid, you're unsure the specifically why of why they are asking about the mother's location, but you can definitely discern that they are not having an honest conversation with you, that they don't care about whatever it is that you care about, that they generally have their own goal in mind, and are only talking to you for their own reason, not specifically for you.
Hey, Riddance,
Yeah, Noosh, what's up?
I think we should go.
We'll need some water though.
I know, but the mermaids are doing the thing that adults do sometimes, where they're not being honest.
Wait, adults aren't always honest.
Yeah. Good adults are always honest, but some mean adults aren't always honest. And so I think the mermaids are mean.
Oh.
Well, that's partially true, but we are fair. We do fair trades.
Well, fair is a subjective term that's only applicable to those who are in power.
What
If
he
you
said.
determine what fair is, then you determine what the price is, and that isn't fair.
Well, likewise, we could determine who has power here. I'm trapped in a lake. So there are multiple ways you could look at this.
But you still have the power in the situation. Fair and justice is subjective to the person who believes in it.
Well, that's a smart argument. So we don't have any deal.
No.
Then? All right.
I'm not really a huge fan of people who lie to me. I'm sorry, but if you do want to make a deal, honesty is probably the best policy. And Anuj is going to turn around and leave the lake.
Riddance looks at the mermaid and goes, "What they said," and then turns around and walks away.
The mermaid slips back into the water, pulling out a conch shell and just kind of tooting into it a little bit. as you walk away. You walk back into the woods. Orly, Tessa, you have found some herbs and some lovely, lovely deceased dandelions. And you you head back into the woods to meet up with the two little ones who are not there. There's a platform with some items you knew that they were looking for. There's a pile of sand on it. The bowl is not there, and the 2 chickens are not there.
The chickens.
I would also like to
again.
mention that Emmy is also not there.
Oh, Emmy is also not there. That is true. Emmy has gone.
And Sudsberry, who's now alive.
Yes,
Mhm.
Sudbury is also always perched on Riddence's head when not flitting about.
Put the herbs near the
Yep.
near the platform. Find the children.
Okay.
We weren't
We
gone
really
that
need
long,
to
were
make
we?
that. No, and we really need to make that rule about not running off without telling somebody.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay. They took
So-
the bowl. So water.
water.
Let's.
Mermaids.
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 Okay.
And head off in the direction of the Mermaid Lagoon rather quickly.
Yep.
Fair. All right. So as you, as Anuj and Riddance kind of turn back into the tree line to run back, you almost immediately, a few steps in, bump into your lady companions, who look a little panicked in the face, and stop you there.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Hi. Where'd you go?
Well, we went to get water, but the mermaids are mean, so they won't give us water, and they're lying to us. And
Yeah, apparently
yeah.
sometimes adults can lie.
Only
Oh.
mean adults. We talked about this.
Oh, well, yes. mean adults do lie. And that's another conversation we're gonna have to
Yep.
have later.
Yep.
Okay.
Also, I found out the mermaids don't want a babysitter because they have no babies.
Well, okay.
Okay.
I don't know how that came up, but okay.
I'll file that away for later.
Uh-huh.
This is the second time I've offered babysitting, and this is the first time they've turned it down. Last time they just kind of ignored me.
Huh. Okay.
So, how do we get fresh water?
Well, how far away are we from the mountain? There was snow up there, right? Would that count as fresh water?
Yeah. If it melts.
I mean, I can melt it. That's not an issue.
No, Riddance said that he has the fire covered.
Okay.
Right, Riddance?
I got it.
Right.
Okay. So we're going to go up the mountains, get the snow, and then we'll have everything besides the breath of wind.
What is that?
I don't know.
Breath
Okay.
of wind. Well,
Yes.
we'll figure it out. Let's get
yeah.
water covered first, one thing at a time.
Okay. Also, just an FYI, Emmy does not eat candy, and we should not feed Emmy candy.
I look over at Emmy. I don't think Emmy has a mouth.
Emmy does have a mouth, doesn't she? How does she eat?
Emmy, as you look at her, Emmy does not have a mouth. There are very few identifying markers. For instance, there's just eye stalks and one eye, nice big eyelashes, which may be the only reason we are assigning she, her pronouns to this beholder. There's really no other identifier to this beholder at all. Just an eye and many other eyes, but small. And that's.
I like to think that Emmy uses any pronouns.
I think that would be very applicable. And that's it. So
Well,
Okay. Well, we won't give candy to the beholder then.
you should use their name. Their name is
Emmy.
Emmy. Yes.
Sorry, we will not give candy to Emmy.
Okay.
To
To the mountain
is
we
fine
go.
because I don't have any candy anyway. Yes, to the mountain.
How far away is the mountain?
the mountain is a bit of a hike.
Yeah.
Mountain is a bit of a ways that you remember. And as you are kind of walking up out of the woods away from Mermaid Lagoon and towards the mountains, there's a whole mountain range that part of it has no snow. You kind of have to go all the way to the north side of Neverland to really get to the mountain range where snow is. As you are walking and you come out of the tree line, you can hear sounds in the distance, a sound of laughter and screams of joy and happiness and excitement up in the sky above and to the south of you.
Nope.
Pan.
Nope. Two children's heads crouch down.
Anuj would hand the bowl and be like, wait, hold this. And hand the bowl to someone else.
I'll take it.
Okay. And then grab their staff and go, protect. And cast Pass Without Trace.
Right, fantastic. Everybody give me a stealth check to duck down.
You have a plus 10 on your check.
That's plus
Yes.
10, right?
Yeah.
That was a natural 20.
Oh,
My
shit.
total is 35.
Nice. Ridden says 26 in total.
Anuj is 25 in total.
I'm 29 in total.
Excellent. And with that natural 20 as well, Tessa kind of pulls an unbelievably giant leaf and just kind of moves the branch over all of you. And Nuj sends up like one little puffy cloud that comes over the group and casts one little shadow where you are right now. And you hear the laughter get closer and closer, still above you. And you see them hurl, somersaulting through the sky. You recognize Pan by the Tinkerbell that is flying next to them as always. And you recognize the battle armor that is on Slightly. And the rest are just an assortment of lost ones that somersault, screaming, armed, flying up past you to the north. And they then kind of disappear out of your sight when you realize that you are out of their visual.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know where they're going or what might be to the north that they're going to?
Not in particular. Tessa, you know the anatomy of the island fairly well. You know that the large mountain range is up there as well as a desert. You don't particularly know what else.
Is there anything of interest in those mountains or desert, or is it just there that I would know of?
I mean, there's something of interest and anywhere at any given point in time. Most of the time when Pan takes a group out, it's for a fight. Otherwise, Pan travels alone or with just Tinkerbell or with just Slightly. When he comes out with a group, there's a fight to be had.
How many people were flying?
About 5 plus Tinkerbell.
Okay.
Would we know, like, specifically in the case, so Anuj is specifically thinking about allies. Is there any ally that would be to the north that we know of? Just because I actually don't know exactly where the mothers are.
From your understanding, your allies, the mothers kind of stay put in one place. They're a little bit to the west of you, from where you are right now. The scorpions are ever moving and do run up and down this mountain range, which does extend further into the north. The mollusks have a underground system that may stretch across all of Neverland as long as it is underneath. So that's hard to say. The only ones you could think that possibly could be up that way would be the scorpions.
Anuj looks at the group and says, I think we have to go.
I mean, should we alert Rufio?
We can do that.
We can do that, yeah, but what if people get hurt?
Well, if it's Pan, people are gonna get hurt.
I think we have to go help.
Let's get the things we've collected. Save it for later.
Is there snow in that direction too?
Up on the mountains, up that way.
Okay. It's in the right direction.
Two things, one trip?
Yeah, 2 birds, 1 stone.
Okay. I don't think that we would have left all the other stuff behind. Like, we could have just gathered everything with us.
I kind of had
Yeah.
assumed that you
Okay.
did. Yeah.
I want to make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, then Anuj is going to start taking off up the mountain to help people.
Okay. You head towards the north, following the direction that they had been traveling. You're a little slower than they are as you are on foot, and it's a little bit difficult to discern the way. The happy sun in the sky and the flowers that up until recently, as you're walking, have been popping up at Arlie and Tessa's feet as they've been walking at the head of this group. The sun sort of following you in the sky until you start to get closer to the northmost mountain, and you can see that Pan and the group are hiding out kind of mid-sky, spread across some low-hanging clouds. And as they are there, Arlie and Tessa, you can make a perception check.
Because Anuj and Riddance are blind.
16.
12.
Right. Tessa, as soon as you spot them and you alert the others to their appearance, as soon as you spot them, the flowers that have been at your feet, they start to just wither a little bit. They don't die, but they just kind of go limp. The sun goes behind a cloud and everything gets a little bit dimmer out. And you see that Pan and Pan and Nibs and Tinkerbell are on one cloud with their little eyeglass and looking, and the rest of the Lost are gathered on another cloud up over the sky.
Well, this is bad. I say quietly.
If call for Rufio, how will he know it's an emergency? How will he know that he's in danger and the rest of them?
Isn't that only? Didn't Rufio say to only call him in an emergency?
Yeah,
Yes.
but what if he comes to us and he reveals where they're hiding?
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm worried about too. Do we know the entrance to Rufio's hideout? Have we seen that?
No.
So I wouldn't know how far he was from me. Shit. Fuck.
I mean, you could try.
I could try. Yeah, I'll try.
Worst that happens is nothing comes back. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna try and send a message. Rufio, it's Arlie. Pan and some of the lost are hiding in the clouds. What I assume to be is near your hideout. If you have another entrance or exit, I'd take it. And then he can reply if he can hear me.
Okay. After a few moments of silence, you hear, we see him. Got it.
Okay. And then I'll turn back to the group and be like, he heard. He knows Pan's here. He sees him.
But we can't. We have to know that they get away. We can't just leave.
No, you're right.
If they go and fight the pirates, it's fine because the pirates come back, but everybody else doesn't come back.
No, you're right. You're right. Okay. Three of you, get behind me real quick. I have an idea. And I'm going to turn back into the forest, towards the forest, and about 55 feet away from us, I'm going to cast Shatter.
Nice.
So we're all hiding and you're gonna cast Shatter right over there. Okay.
Yeah, like not where we are, but
South
off,
of you,
south of
towards
us.
towards the forest.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Shatter. Any creature takes 3d8 thunder damage, but I'm really not doing it for the damage. I'm doing it for the noise, and I'm doing it like more as a distraction.
Absolutely. The only thing that takes damage really in this area is a bunch of dirt, flowers, and a couple of plants that may or may not have been monsters. So it's fine. So
They deserved it.
in that spot, a loud crashing sound explodes from this spot. Dirt and weeds and plants kind of fly up into the air. And you see Pan fly up off of the cloud and whip around with his eyepiece. And he lets out a big crow that I won't do so I don't kill everybody's eardrums. And they, one by one, kind of hop off the cloud and fly back in this direction toward the noise to go over you. Please, one more stealth check as they fly directly over your head.
Do you still have the plus 10?
still have pass without a
Okay.
trace. Yeah.
Good.
You haven't moved really from that spot.
I would like to use my inspiration, please, from like 2 sessions ago.
You may.
I would
Thank
like to
you.
use mine
Oh,
too.
as would Riddance.
Oh my gosh. I'm not gonna, because even though that was an
Fantastic.
8, that turns into a 23 with pass without a trace.
Yeah.
19 plus 11, so 30.
Okay. Good.
31.
Okay. And 31. All right. Good. Desperately, you hang on to whatever shadowy spots you can find left as as Pan turns around and sees this big explosion that they believe is going to lead them to where they want to go, you see that the sun kind of shoots back up into the sky again and becomes bright, and the shadows around you are no longer sticking. And so you kind of take an extra moment to really will yourselves into hiding as best as you can. And luckily, Pan flies over in a and just in their excitement kind of don't really look around and fly past you. They get to the spot and land in the dirt.
I'm gonna have our little group move, still in the trees, like keeping in line with the trees and still being more north, but we're heading either west or east so that we're not in the same spot.
Let Rufio know that they moved.
Ah, okay. And I will send another message to Rufio. Rufio, that noise was me. It was to distract Pan and get him away. So he and the Lost are over where I caused the loud noise in the trees. We are also moving, but we're keeping a relative distance to you.
A few moments go by and you hear him say, "Thanks for the assistance. Stay away from the danger." And within moments of receiving that message, you see a group of people emerge from all corners of the tree line, and with Pan and the Lost Ones in the center of this explosion that you set up, you see multiple groups of the scorpions with Rufio at the head come out from all sides, weapons drawn, and start to engage in a massive battle that erupts behind you. The air is now filled with the clanging of swords, shouts and yells, and crows and cries. Pan flies up, dives back in, flies up, dives back in, and this continues.
Where's Tinkerbell?
Always not far from where Pan is, but in this battle situation, she does start to fly around on her own. She does a couple of tricks. You see her wrap around a few scorpions, leaving a trail of fairy dust, and she kind of yoinks, and the two Lost Ones will kind of fall to the ground, and she'll go and do another distraction, lead one away from the group, and so on and so forth.
Who Anuj is worried because a combat means that there could be harm on either side, and this is not what Anuj had thought was going to happen. And Anuj looks at Orly and goes, "Why are they fighting? They were supposed to escape."
I don't know. I didn't think that's where Rufio was. I thought he was in the hideout. I didn't even think my message was going to go through.
Tessa, this is not unusual to you, you know, and most of you did hear portions of this, but Tessa is the most familiar with it. This is the Scorpions believe the best way to make things right is to defeat Pan and get rid of the entire system of the Lost Ones that they believe is causing all of this problems. So that's the Scorpions kind of, that's their belief system. That's their that's how they think they'll be the most effective. So this is not unusual for them to have something like this go down.
The scorpions do this. It's kind of their thing.
I see. Should we help?
I don't know. Do we
Looking
help?
at-
Do we try and get Tinkerbell? Do we try and...
Ooh.
Is now the time we convince her to be good? I didn't want this to happen.
Pan's a little distracted at the moment. We could try to get Tinkerbell. We would need at least half a plan.
I have a spell that allows me to keep someone in place for a short period of time. I was gonna cast it on Pan, but I could cast it on Tink instead.
And I can make myself look like Pan. I don't know if that matters, but
Well, Tinkerbell knows us as the Lost Ones. We're part of Pan's group. We've just been gone for a while. If we ask Tinkerbell for fairy dust, she might give us some because we just haven't been able to fly back up.
Maybe.
And if we can fly, we might be able to catch Tinkerbell. Especially if we work together.
Yeah.
Riddance looks at Tessa. Tessa, is the right thing to do to lie?
Yeah, you're right, Riddance. That would be lying.
I look at Tessa.
internally Tessa's just screaming because why do the children keep coming to her for moral dilemmas? Like there's somebody so much more qualified right there.
There's literally a battle raging behind us, and we're having a philosophical discussion.
It's 50 feet behind you.
Peak comedy.
But
Peak comedy.
It is like a comical dust in the air, like limbs kind of coming out of a bubble of smoke, and chaos kind of scenario happening 50 feet behind you. Yes.
Okay. I mean, I think. Okay, no.
Lying doesn't always make you a bad person.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm gonna reach over and squeeze her hand. I can see how hard she's struggling. It depends on why you're lying and what the situation is. Pan is not a good person. And in order to protect ourselves and to protect those around us, we need to lie.
Okay. I understand.
Is that a lie, Riddance?
No.
Insight check.
Yeah.
Say check the dragonborn child.
Yeah.
Not bad. 15 on insight.
I mean,
Riddance, give me a deception check to beat that 15.
okay. Okay, so that's a 14. My deception is +4.
Okay. All right. No, Riddance is solid.
Okay.
Riddance totally gets it. Gets this scenario.
Anuj looks at Riddance and says, "Okay, I have a plan.
Me too.
Riddance, you and I focus on trying to talk to Tinkerbell and getting her to be good.
Mm-hmm.
Harley and Tessa, you're the backup plan. You stop Pan."
Sure.
All right. Okay. Where is Pan at this moment?
You see that Pan continuously flies up out of this, draws sword down, and dives back into this kind of chaotic bubble of fighting.
Okay. I'm gonna wait for Pan to get pretty high, but not without. I'm gonna get a little bit closer.
Okay.
Oh, Anuj is sprinting in.
Okay.
God. Oh,
Good.
God.
Okay.
I instinctually try to reach out, and then I'm like, I'll let it go. And then as soon as Pan gets high enough, I'm gonna cast Hold Person.
Okay. Tessa, what's your plan?
I don't have one.
Okay, good.
Like,
What's
I'm
your
just gonna be entirely honest with you. Tessa does not have a plan for the situation. Her repertoire is not built for stealth or utility. It's built for big, loud damage. Whoops.
Sure.
So, I'm just gonna I'm gonna cast mage armor on myself. Actually, no. Is Anuj wearing armor right now?
Yes, Anuj is wearing some armor.
Okay, so scrap that. What about Riddance?
Rince's armor class is 14 right now, just naturally.
Okay. Yeah, as the two children charge off, she's gonna reach out and kind of tap Ridance's shoulder and cast mage armor on him. So your base AC is 13 plus your dex mod now.
Yeah.
For the next 8 hours.
Okay. And then Riddance, you also have one full action before any of your party get close enough to draw you all into a initiative.
Okay. Riddance wants to hold an action, kind of like waiting for Tinkerbell to be in like within 60, 70 feet, but alone. But like not with anyone
separated
else. Separated.
Okay. What are you holding? Do you anything particular or just your whole action?
He believes very strongly that Tinkerbell needs a nap and is gonna hold sleep at second level.
Okay.
Anuj, as they are kind of running away, is going to slam the staff on the ground once and cast Bless on the three companions. So what that means is that you can add a d4 to any attack rolls or saving throws for the next minute.
Okay. Do 3 people in this party have Bless?
Yeah, everybody is a support character in this game.
Yeah, we're a very supportive bunch.
Everybody's
We are
so supportive.
DPS, never heard of her.
Yeah.
Who?
Healer, what's that?
Okay, so to recap what's going on, hold on one second. We have Anuj running straight in.
Yep.
But before they get right into the combat, they are going to kind of cast behind them on their companions, Bless. Orly is going to hold onto a hold person, which she is going to cast as soon as Pan is highest in the sky. Tessa is casting mage armor on the two chickens who are
It was just on Riddance. I can't do it on Anuj.
Oh, just onto Riddance. Okay. Riddance mage armor. And Riddance is holding a sleep spell until Tinkerbell is isolated. Before we get into a combat scenario, 2 things. I want us to take a break so I can set up a map. And 2, I want to let everybody know that I do not want to spoil the excitement and the stress, but I want you to know that our children are immune to all and any kind of forms of death or dying. That is not a thing that happens on the show. So if I just want us to enjoy the excitement and adventure of combat, but please do not fret for our tiny heads in this game. They will be okay on the other side. So I will remind everybody of that when we come back as well, and we will break for a few minutes while I set up. Everybody enjoy your rest. Thanks for being here. Are we off? Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Good.
Thanks so much for
all right,
hanging
I'm
out with
going
us
to set
today.
up.
If you get a second
Truly.
during break, you
What
should
a-
check out one of our
what a
amazing
wild
sponsors.
change in the
We're now
game so
proudly
far.
sponsored by Roll20, the
Yes,
best
I
virtual
did not
tabletop
expect
for
it to go
all your
this way.
role-playing needs. Over 4 million people use
You
Roll20's virtual
misunderstood
tabletop to
Anuja's
power their
dedication to
favorite
no one
games.
getting hurt.
And with more
I
modules than you can
really
shake a
did.
stick at on their new revamped storefront, you'll definitely find something for your group to enjoy. Sign up today by clicking the link below or heading to roll20.net/start/WTTP. Tabletop Loot is an amazing place to get your dice bags, dice boxes, and more. And now you can get 15% off your purchase at tabletoploot.com by using the code WTTPDICE at checkout. Tabletop Loot. Your party starts here. While you're at it, check out our so awesome merch store, So Nerdware. So Nerdware is the place to find all your Welcome to the Party merch and other amazing stuff too. Head on over to sonerdware.com and use the code WELCOME at checkout to get 10% off your next purchase. So Nerdware. It's what the nerds wear. Devin Rue, the amazing mistress of maps, has kindly supported the channel since the beginning and provides graphics for many of our streams. Head on over to rueinc.com to check out some of the best fantasy cartography on the web. Our Patreon supports the creators and producers of the channel by providing Roll20 subscriptions, cost coverage for video hosting, and more. If you want to support the channel while getting podcasts a week early, gaming articles that are published on Patreon first, a shout out during our break, and more, head on over to patreon.com/welcomepartyrpg and throw us a buck or $5. And last, but certainly not least, help out the party. Subs and bits not only support the stream, but also every 500 bits or a tier 1 sub gives a player or DM of your choice a reroll or system equivalent, and every 1000 bits or tier 2 sub gives a player or DM of your choice a crit or system equivalent. Thanks again for hanging out with us today. The game will be back in just a few minutes.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
All right. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for sticking with us on the break. I'm Diana. I am not visible to you anymore because we are now in battle map territory. As I said right before the break, please note that while we want you to enjoy the distress of battle and the adventure of battle, that our two children PCs are not vulnerable to dying. That is not a thing that will happen on this show. Also, I would like to take a moment to thank our Patreons. In specific, I'd like to thank Jack, Nerdy, Donald, and Michelle. And with that, we will get started. Just to alert everyone to the visuals here. Oop, I have a little bit of an echo. Hang on one second.
Mm-hmm.
I can't put a finger up like that. Nobody can see me. One thing. Okay. Ryan,
can you mute your Zoom audio?
Okay, so we are good. Sorry. So just to let everybody know what's happening on the battlefield, because this was impromptu and I was not prepared. We have in the center here all of the lost ones that arrived with Pan, as well as Pan themselves and Tinkerbell, who is flitting back and forth around this combat. Around the outside with the gray models, we have the Scorpions who attacked with Rufio at the lead. We have Anuj charging towards them as fast as they can. We have Riddance holding a sleep spell for Tinkerbell when she is alone. We have Orly holding on to a hold person spell for when Pan is highest in the air. And we have Tessa, who has just cast mage armor on herself. Everybody gets that off as Anuj reaches the edge of the actual battle itself. Anuj, what is it that you do when you arrive there?
So Anuj's plan is to... So I'm assuming that the Lost Ones are kind of at a disadvantage here, correct?
The Lost Ones are definitely at a disadvantage, it seems. Pan does not seem bothered, but the Lost Ones definitely are outnumbered and outskilled, as all of the people here are heavily armed.
With the Lost Ones, can Anuj tell if the Scorpions are going for, like, to hurt them or just to knock them out?
You can tell that everyone on both sides seems to have already taken some sort of physical damage. Both Lost Ones and Scorpions look like they have some cuts, bruises, things like that.
Okay. Then Anuj is going to try and get to Rufio.
Okay. You can, what's your movement speed?
35 feet.
Yeah, all right. Easily you get here. Tinkerbell is in this location, but about 30 feet up. And as you do that, what do you do when you approach Rufio?
Anuj is going to kind of jump into the melee and say, Rufio, you need to call them off.
Rufio, a little startled, turns around to face you and is going to take a nice swipe across the back from one of the lost ones with a dagger.
I would like to protect and give disadvantage to that attack.
Okay, absolutely. You see that they kind of barely miss and just swipe and get some of his clothes. It wasn't a terribly low shot, just missed his AC. And at that point, I'm going to have everybody roll initiative.
I'm gonna use inspiration.
Okay.
That's actually worse. I rolled a 2 and then I rolled a natural 1.
Oh
Mm.
no.
No.
Cox.
I rolled a 16.
So that was 5 total for Tessa.
Okay.
Ridden's got a 9.
Okay.
15.
All right, and then we have our 2 enemies here. Wow. Okay. So Anuj, you say this to Rufio, who turns around and says, "What are you doing here, kid?"
Violence isn't the answer. Is it my turn in combat?
It is.
Okay. I'm gonna look across at Riddance and say, Riddance, do the thing! As I notice that Tinkerbell is like way behind me. And I'm gonna hold my action to try and catch Tinkerbell if she lands or if she comes near me.
All right. Okay, at that point, Arlie.
Okay, I'm keeping an eye out for Pan, and I'm waiting for them to get as high as possible. And then I will cast Hold Person, and they have to make a Wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Pan does, as they have been doing repeatedly from time to time. They kind of are flying up over this way, then this way, then this way, diving in and out. And as you catch them right about there, where they're at the highest point in their little arc, you cast Hold Person, and they will... What was the save you said?
15.
15. It's going to be a 17. So they are going to pass it. Not by a whole lot.
Okay.
Anything else?
That was my action. Do I have a bonus? Yes. As a bonus action, I am going to just hum a little tune. It has no melody. It's just something I'm coming up with, and I'm going to give Tessa inspiration.
Okay, Tessa, you have that inspiration.
It's a D6.
Excellent. At this point, the scorpions act. Rufio is just kind of gonna make make himself look as big as he can and say, you and the rest of you, get out of here, and turn back into the combat, and is going to catch one of the lost ones as they start to hover, trying to fly up out of the combat, and he's going to catch them with one hand and kind of yank them back down to the ground and continue fighting. The rest of them are going to take a few swipes, and then Pan is going to dive in. Anuj, you will be the only one to really see this, but he's going to dive back into the combat, kind of kick off of one of the other Lost Boys and lunge with the sword at Rufio. And
Protection.
okay, disadvantage then.
Yep.
Okay. That time
And
it worked. This time Pan kind of flies, kicking off to try to lunge, and is going to fly kind of past Rufio, as Rufio just sort of dodges out of the way as you alert him. And Pan will kind of wind up being next to you.
So the way that I kind of picture it in my head
Yeah.
is that I knock Rufio to the side and like block slightly with the shield.
Uh-huh.
And I want to make eye contact with Pan.
You do exactly that. And now Pan lands on the ground momentarily and looks right back at you. At this point, let's see, Riddance. Tink is hovering in the sky, but it won't be for long as you see her look down and see Pan miss a strike, which she doesn't look happy about. She also sees Pan turn to look at Anuj, and you see her kind of tilt downward as though she's going to dive back down.
Okay. So my range is 90 feet on the saved sleep spell.
You have that.
Can I make the 20-foot area only encompass her?
Let's see.
She's 30 feet in the air.
Yeah, you can cast it above her.
Okay. Then that's what Riddance is gonna do. Riddance is just gonna be like, you need a nap, you need a nap, you need a nap.
All right. Does she have a DC saving throw on that?
No.
Points.
No, yeah, I gotta roll. In this case, because it's second level, it's
right.
78 is what I have to roll, and I just have to roll enough to encompass her current hit points to make her
Do it
possible.
up. Let me know that total. Let me look
Okay.
at Tink's
All right.
score here. Oh, okay.
Her health is 250.
Yeah, probably, right? So,
Tinkerbell is a lich.
yeah.
Tinkerbell's actually a Tarrasque in disguise.
Yeah.
Tinkerbell is final boss.
Yes.
Okay, 2 + 5 + 1 + 6 + 7. That's another 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more. That's a 7. Let's do some math. 8. That's 8. That's 13. So 16 + 13 is 29 points all in total.
Which is not her total hit points, but luckily Tinkerbell has taken quite a bit of damage already in this battle and has been damaged quite a lot for a tiny little fairy. So you see Tinkerbell kind of angle herself down and start to dive. And as she is diving forward, suddenly you see her kind of like drift back up. She will kind of sway back and forth, and then she will comically kind of go frozen in the air, like stiff as a board, and you will see little Z's appear in the air above her that float up into the sky as she slowly drifts down to the ground.
Oh my gosh.
My action goes off.
Yes. So your action
was to catch her, basically.
Yep. And make a dexterity. Actually, I would say make an athletics check to kind of dive and catch her.
That's a natural 20 plus 4.
Excellent. Anuj, as Tinkerbell kind of falls around here, you do like a diving throw of your entire body weight out of the way, skid across the ground, reach your hands out, and you just catch her as she drifts completely off. She is snoring quite loudly.
I'm being very gentle, but also making sure that she doesn't fly away if she wakes up. So that's the goal. And Anuj is just kind of holding her right now and stands up. And I'm sure Pan has noticed.
Oh, yeah. Pan was looking directly at you before this.
Yeah.
And has turned their entire attention your way now. Tessa, you are up.
Oh, geez. Okay. So can you point out Pan again for me on this? That one. Okay. Right. Oh, good. This is a range of 60 feet. Excellent. I don't have to move. I am going to do some weird subclass crap that I haven't gotten a chance to because I can.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Tessa, I'm going to, as a bonus action, I am. Hang on. What order do I want to do this in? Yes. As a bonus action, I am going to do extract name on Pan. So they have to make a wisdom save.
Okay. What does extract name?
So it means that the target is charmed by me until the end of my next turn, and I mentally learn the charmed target's name or the fact that they lack one. And then I can do some other crap as an action.
Whoa. Okay. Pan fails that wisdom save as Pan is so enraged at the sight of Tinkerbell falling into the hands of someone else. And his entire focus is on that as you cast this. Pan fails. You know.
You don't have to tell me on stream. That's
I
fine.
will not tell you on stream. I will tell you what you know.
Okay.
Privately.
And then as her action, because that's a bonus action, she is going to take a step forward because this needs to be in 30 feet because, yeah. And she's going to cast Bane on Pan and two of the other lost ones.
Okay. Do you have anybody in mind?
Who else is here?
So the only other one you recognize besides Pan and Tinkerbell is Nibs, who is right here.
Okay, so Tinkerbell's asleep, so I don't really care about that right now. So on Pan, Nibs, and just one of the others, I don't really have a preference.
Okay.
So they need to make charisma saves.
All right. Hoo-hoo-hoo.
Also 14.
All right, we got Pan, Nibs, and a random other lost one. We have 2 fails, but Pan succeeds.
Shit. Okay.
What happened?
Nibs and the other one are baned so that it's the opposite of bless. So they have to subtract a d4 from attack rolls and saving throws.
Great. Excellent. Let's see what I have.
Hoping Pan would fail that, but oh well, close enough.
Yeah. All right, we'll see if I've got some rings to denote who is baned. This one. This one. Alrighty. Okay. So from there, we now have Anuj, followed by Arlie.
Okay. Anuj, now holding Tinkerbell, looks Pan in the eyes and says, I know what you did, and it wasn't very nice. And I'm assuming I have fairy dust on me, and I'm going to fly away.
Yeah, I mean, all it takes is a little sprinkle, you know. So you do have to shake the Tinkerbell.
Shake.
Okay.
Sleeping fairy.
You shake the Tinkerbell, she does not wake, but fairy dust does come all over you, and you are able to fly up. Where do you go?
I'm going to head back to the rest of the group.
Great. Okay. You come back to here. Wow. Do you do anything else?
I look at the group and say, we gotta go, everybody.
Oh
Oh no!
What were you expecting?
Okay. That is going to be Arlie's turn. As this happens, Pan, however, is going to shout at Nibs that we need to go, and they will shout, "Leave them!" and fly up into the sky.
What does Pan's face look like right now?
Full of rage. And as you notice that, you also notice that the entirety of Neverland starts to erupt in a rapidly increasing thunderstorm.
Whoops.
Can I say one thing?
Yes.
Before I'm gonna look at Pan, and because I love to antagonize my enemies,
Yes.
just as
clearly.
Russ.
Yeah.
Anuj says, I know that Neverland is yours, but the people are not.
Pan giggles, but the storm continues to rage, and clouds start to roll in. As he starts to fly up, we will have Nibs also flies up behind them. And
Acts of opportunity.
yes, they both get swiped on. Pan evades, but Nibs does get cut pretty deep, and you can actually see that Nibs is bleeding as they fly up through the crowds. The remaining lost ones attempt to fly up, but get grabbed and brought back down by the scorpions, who now hold them there. And the clouds roll in, and lightning begins to strike the ground around you. It does not make sense. It is not striking how lightning works. It is striking multiple times at once. Thunder and lightning are clapping at the same time. We are out of active combat, but the scene is still as depicted there. What would you all like to do?
Grab the kids and run.
Yep.
Anuj has a plan. A dumb plan, but a plan nonetheless.
Okay.
Does Anuj have any other kind of plan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Anuj takes a sprinkle of fairy dust from Tinkerbell and throws it onto the group
Mm-hmm.
and says, we need to protect everyone. We need to believe. This is fairy magic.
Ah, you fools.
Incredibly non-specific. What? I love it. Okay, so
And Anuj is going to say, picture a shield like an umbrella from all the rain and all the storm. and gonna focus the fairy magic.
All right. Let's see then. Everybody make a wisdom saving throw to try so hard to believe the most in whatever you can try to hold on to.
21.
19.
Spend my last inspiration point. 11.
Oh no.
I don't have any inspiration left, and I rolled a 3.
Can I give you my inspiration? I have one left.
Yeah.
Instead, what does Arlie believe in? What does she focus on when trying to believe?
Arlie is focusing on Anuj and Riddance and Tessa's safety. Like,
Okay.
this is insane. They're gonna get hurt. They can't get hurt. I can't let them get hurt.
Okay. Anuj, what did you roll?
Oh,
Rouge
we're blessed
rolled-
still, aren't we?
What?
Bless.
We're still blessed.
Yep, you're still
Yes.
blessed.
A D4 would not help me.
Oh.
Anuj rolled, I believe an 18.
Plus 4. Plus 4, so I got a 15.
Nice. And although, Orly, you know that in your panic, you just did not believe this was going to work. You tried so hard, but you just did not think that this was possible. But Anuj, like a big FU to the logical universe, you just said, no, there will be a shield. And a giant, miraculous leaf kind of detaches itself from a tree above you. And it doesn't look when it's far away like it's big enough to cover any amount of space, but as it floats down towards you, it seems to grow in size and kind of hovers there, just sort of hovering right about 3 or 4 feet over the tallest head of the group.
Huh.
And Anuj looks and says, see? I told you fairy magic.
Okay, we need to get out of here.
Yes, and you notice that the scorpions have tied up the lost ones, and the lost ones are being removed from the area.
Can we see where Pan has gone?
Pan flew up into dark storm clouds. You cannot see where Pan has gone.
All right. Then Anuj is going to very carefully, holding Tinkerbell, say, who should hold on to Tinkerbell? I'm pretty sure she's going to wake up soon.
I got it. And Riddance will like open up his blanket.
Yeah.
Are you going to swaddle Tinkerbell in your blanket?
Just
There's
like
so much
like Arlie,
swaddling.
just like Arlie did.
So you're burritoing.
Yeah, I'm gonna burrito Tinkerbell.
Great.
It's a fairy
Excellent.
burrito.
I
burrito.
love that, by the way. Okay.
That's how we restrain people. We burrito them.
Yes.
It's how I
Swaddle
clip
you
my
in a
cat's
blanket.
fingernails. Just burrito the cat.
Same.
Okay.
Rope,
Riddance.
never heard of her.
You wrap Tank up tight in your blanket that was made for you by Arlie, and you all walk. The leaf follows, kind of swaying in the air above you, catching the rain. It is kind of like in a swoop shape, catching that rain.
Look, we're catching fresh water too.
That was way more birds and way too many stones that I even
Oh, yes.
wanted to deal with.
Wait. I didn't see any birds.
Oh, Anush. Okay. All right. We're going to find somewhere safe. We're going to sit down. We're going to do what we need to do. But then we are having a talk.
I think it went really well.
And
I mean,
Okay.
nobody got hurt. None of us got hurt.
um
I look over at Tessa.
Not
Sorry.
helping.
You're an adult.
Sorry.
by the way, Sarah, did you see my message to you in Discord private with your information?
Now I have, yes.
Okay, good. So you travel a little bit. Are you heading north or south?
Whatever gives us the most cover.
Okay, then you would be heading west into Neverland Forest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You go in for as much cover as possible. Once the trees get thick, the booming thunder and rain overhead, by the time it hits you, is more like a little sprinkle, but the leaf still stays with you.
Is Anuj collecting water in their bowl?
I mean, the leaf is collecting the water for
Yeah,
it.
the leaf
Fair.
kind of has like a big collection of water in it
Mhm.
that you can kind of hear collecting over your head.
So, if we find somewhere safe, we can do the ritual. We need to get out of the storm because I need the fire. That's kind of important. But if we find somewhere safe, we can do the ritual. We can talk to Tink, and then you can talk to us about how well it went.
Sure. Okay.
I just grab Arlie's hand and give her a little supportive squeeze.
I'm so trying not to lose my shit onto the kids.
Okay, so you get to a spot that seems nice and quiet, a little dark, albeit, but there's a little clearing. There's plenty of thick woods and trees around. The rain isn't so bad above you in this spot as it's kind of being collected by the leaves and trees above you. And it seems relatively safe here. No sounds of people or creatures nearby.
The unless something magical happens, the sleep spell probably shouldn't have lasted anymore.
Yeah, pretty much as soon as you kind of settle down, the swaddled Tank will start to yawn and open her eyes and try to stretch her arms, and notice that she can't because she's swaddled in a blanket, and she'll start
girl.
to shout. Oh
Hello,
my
hi.
God, what do you think you're doing?
Hello, hi. Hi there. Hello. Hi.
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 This is unacceptable.
I mean, you say that, but aren't you the one who broke Neverland?
What are you talking about? Are you all out of your minds? You get me out of this stupid blanket right now.
Excuse me. This is not a stupid blanket.
It was a very important blanket that was made for riddance.
Well, right now it's like totally entrapping me. So like if you could just get me out of it, then
Best friends.
I love
what's the DC on that?
Oh, there's no DC.
No, there's not.
But
Oh,
I have
but-
advantage on all charisma checks.
Okay, all right. What are you trying to do?
I'm just trying to calm her down and say, look, we only want to talk about what's going on in Neverland with you. We've heard some things and we're concerned, and we figured the best way would be to get you away from Pan so that we could discuss it privately.
Okay. Make a persuasion roll with advantage.
Please roll well. Yes. Yes. Natural 20
Oh.
plus 9
Okay, good.
for a total of 28.
She like temporarily like calms down, but she's still fidgeting under the in this wrapped blanket, and it's just like like fine, okay, whatever, we can like talk or whatever you want, but like it's totally uncool to just like wrap a fairy up and like take my wings away. Like I can't fly right now, and that's so.
It was raining, and we didn't want you to get wet. And this was the easiest way to carry you.
Are you like totally thick? Like I can fly in the rain. I'm
Not
not.
when you're asleep.
Why did I fall asleep in the middle of a fight? I was totally gonna cream all those Lost Boys.
I'm sure you were.
I have questions. Lots of them.
Fine.
So, Pan did something that broke Neverland. Something with fairy magic that fairy magic wasn't supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
What was it?
You just said it. Broke Neverland.
No, but what did he do with the fairy magic that broke Neverland?
Oh, well, it wasn't so much like the fairy magic that broke Neverland. It was just like, Pan themselves, like coming here and not doing what they were supposed to do and like turning the fairy magic on its head. But like, I guess Pan sort of kind of misused fairy magic by, tricking the fairies in the first place, which is not totally cool, I guess, but it was like a means to an end, like we had to get, Pan had to get away and had to get Neverland and like had to fix their own stuff. Although that's like ancient business. Why are you bringing it up now? Like it's so long ago. I can barely remember.
Well, how do we get home?
Like you can fly. You kind of stole my fairy dust, so you could totally fly home if you wanted to.
Can I roll insight on that?
Yeah.
Because
Can
that
we
doesn't
just keep
sound
an
right.
eye out around us to see if just to kind of basically keep watch while all this is happening.
Okay.
Right.
It is. You can hear the sounds of thunder and lightning, like kind of all over the island, like kind of in a circle, like just kind of echoing from one side of the island to the other, but you don't see any signs of people
Okay.
approaching.
With my bonus, 19.
Okay. Tink is being like stoned levels of honest with you, like complete,
Okay.
like just like totally just laying it all out.
Okay, fantastic. So then why did Pan break Neverland? Why did you said they had to do this? They had to get Neverland. They had to get away. Why?
Well, Pan just kind of got cheated by like everything back when Pan was like human or whatever. I
What
don't
they
know.
get cheated out of?
Like everything. Like Pan didn't get any magic. Pan didn't get a fairy. Like it was just like, you know what? Magic, like people think that magic is like a sure thing and that it like works all the time, but it really doesn't. It's just like there's like no regulations, So I mean, just why not just do whatever you want?
So Pan doesn't have a fairy,
Well, he does now. Hello, hi.
but you weren't
Kidnapped
supposed
me.
to be. Hi, Pan, you're not supposed to be Pan's fairy. You're supposed to be someone else's fairy.
Well, yeah, technically. But Pan didn't get one, and so
How do you know
What?
Pan didn't get one?
Yeah, I thought everybody was supposed to have a fairy.
yeah, everybody's supposed to, but then some things go wrong somewhere. Somebody didn't sign their stupid fairy document or whatever, and just Pan was just one of the few unlucky humans that were just born without one. And so Pan ran away and found
Stole
where
someone else's fairy for themselves.
well, kind kind of like you didn't like steal me. Like I came willingly. How about if you like my situation with Pan a little bit better? It was like, it was just a cooler setup,
You used the word kidnapped not too long ago. Are you sure about that?
Well, I have like I can have a little bit of a thirst for drama, and you don't have to judge me for that. But really, and then you see her kind of like stop talking and go quiet for a second. Oh, ew. Don't cast spells on me. So gross.
You were being inconsolable, dramatic, as one might say. We weren't going to be able to get a word in edgewise if I didn't.
Okay, so am I like totally kidnapped, or is this like what is your goal here? And can I
for that one?
please get out of this blanket?
Nope.
Well, for now, we're going to keep you in the blanket just because we're sure, well, I'm kind of sure that you don't want to talk to us, but we just want to talk to you and like figure things out because some people want to go home and some people don't want to be brought here. And it'd be much nicer if people could choose to come here and not be taken here.
Sure, but like that's not how it is. So
You just said magic wasn't reliable. So
yeah. Have you ever cast a spell and like it just goes totally wonky and like you accidentally like, I don't know, blow up the wrong person or whatever?
No.
So far,
I got pretty good aim.
So far, magic has been really nice to me. I've woken up a branch, I've made a flute sing, and together we saved us from the storm.
Ugh. That's like so nice for you, but I don't know what you want me to do about it exactly.
Well, I want to know where the contract is.
Oh, God. You know about that?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Pop told us about the contract.
Well. I mean, you're gonna have to travel a lot further than Neverland to get that contract.
Okay,
but like,
where?
I wish you totally the best.
Where?
Well, I don't really feel like telling you because of the whole I'm being kept here against my will garbage.
Please?
Someone else want to try? I mean,
Okay.
I can't.
Well then, how about this?
Mm-hmm.
You can tell us where the contract is, or I can take you to the Hollow of the Fairies, and they'll take you before your queen.
Ugh. You know that they're like probably totally kill me, right?
I don't think they're gonna kill you.
What? Oh my God, you're so sweet, but like, yeah, they'll totally kill me.
I don't think fairies kill people. I think they'd probably give you a timeout or put you in a box and leave you in the box for a little while. But I don't think they'd kill you.
Ugh.
The fairies didn't seem very fighty.
Ridden stands up with the burrito.
With the burrito bell?
With the burrito bell.
Okay.
They're gonna kill her, you guys.
I don't think so.
I don't think they would.
Do you really think that Morgan would kill someone?
I mean, I believe anything's possible.
I mean,
and Riddance just starts crying.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Riddance, you start crying. A little tiny puffy rain cloud kind of swoops down over the sky and starts to pour rain down over you and Tinkerbell in her swaddle. Just, oh my God, keep it together. Stop crying. We are going to get all wet and all my wings aren't going to work as well if I'm all swaddled in here and I get soaked.
I'm going to take the Tinkerbell burrito away from Riddance. I'm going to hand her off to Anuj.
Strength contested.
Okay. Do you feel Riddance kind of tug back? Are you still going to try to take Tinkerbell away?
Riddance, Tinkerbell's getting wet. I'm just going to move her. You can keep crying if you need to, but I'm just going to move Tinkerbell so that she doesn't get wet.
Oh, okay. And then just lets it go and just keeps crying under his cloud.
I stand over Riddance, like kind of blocking the rain cloud from him and just pull him into a hug if he's willing, also acting as an umbrella.
Okay, yeah. You get soaked by the tiny rain cloud that has gotten there. Tinkerbell is getting increasingly annoyed by being passed along in this little swaddled blanket. And she's like, so you want to bring me back to the queen. And like, if you do that, that's on you. And you're just going to have to live with whatever happens there. But like, she'll totally kill me. But seriously, you can just like go home. If you want, you can just go home and you can like forget this place.
What about everybody else?
I mean, technically they can go home too.
But they can't fly, and Pan isn't handing out fairy dust to go home.
It's my fairy dust.
Like, yeah, and you aren't giving people the dust to go home. No one gets to make that choice.
Well, I mean,
once they're here, they're stuck here.
It's mostly because they don't have their memories anymore.
Well, some of them do.
Yeah, I was one of them. I thought I wanted to be here. I don't.
Right? Cool. So like now you know that, and now you have some fairy dust that you stole, and now you can go home.
I took nothing.
Say that again. Sorry.
That's okay. I took nothing. And I'm going to cast Charm Person. It's a racial ability. Tinkerbell has to make a wisdom saving throw.
She fails. She fails that with a natural 2.
Ouch. So I'm just gonna hold up Tinkerbell to my face and say, I took nothing. I have been pretty quiet throughout this whole thing because I think my friends have more dogs in this fight than I do. But I strongly encourage you to tell us whatever you think we need to know. And then we'll make a decision based on the information you provide us. How does that sound?
I mean, I told you quite a bit when you had me under your little like friendship spell.
You did, but I'm sure there's more.
Okay, well, regardless, you all have to go if you want any of these ridiculous answers that you want. You're gonna have to go back to where the fairies live, back to where Pan and I originally met. And in order to get there, you're gonna have to go with the fairies. And so you can go with me or you can go without me.
I look at the rest of the group. Do we bring Tinkerbell with us?
I mean, I feel like if we let her go, she's gonna fly right back to Pan and tell him all of this.
Probably.
And that would not end well for us.
Well, I mean, just frankly, I'm sure that Pan knows that you are the ones that took me. Am I wrong?
No, I looked him in the eyes and said so.
Anuj, you did what?
I mean, They were standing right next to me when I caught Tinkerbell and ran away. They kind of saw me.
Tessa just closes her eyes and takes a very deep breath.
Well, so
I think my cover is blown.
yeah. Sorry.
What
Are
was
you,
the
though?
contract?
The contract is with the only person it would be considered safe to be with. And that's a little out of your range, I'm afraid. That's going to be with the original Pan.
The original.
Sorry, what?
You know,
No, I don't. That's why I asked.
Riddance like sniffles away his tears and walks over to Arlie and the burrito.
Great band name.
Yeah, right. And gets
TM. Don't take that. Trademark.
gets in like really like snout close to Tinkerbell and goes, "Did you blow up the other Pan?"
what? No. She's like retired.
You mean the job? Pan isn't a person, it's a job.
Title.
It's a title.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
Pan took on a role and didn't do what the role asked them to do, which broke the role.
There are other Pans?
The original
Which
Pan
Pan
is
broke
a
it?
fairy. This Pan broke it.
Yeah.
Well,
But the original Pan before this Pan was a fairy, which is why we have to go back to the fairy world.
Would the original Pan know what's going on right now?
Probably not. She's retired, which means that she only has like a little bit of her magic left and is probably sticking as far as possible away from anything Fae or Neverland related, if I had to guess. Anyway, like Pan's gonna figure out where you are and where I am real soon because like we have this whole like bond and stuff. So like, I mean, it's like pretty much time out for all of you soon.
Not yet, it's not.
Charm person lasts for an hour. You can't threaten me.
I'm not threatening you. I won't do anything to hurt you. I'm just saying that truthfully, like as somebody who doesn't totally hate you because you've got a whole thing, is that like
Right?
you're gonna die soon.
What time of the day is it right now?
It is very difficult to discern because it is almost blackout from the storm.
Anuja's going to look and say, if the previous Pan is staying as far away as possible from anything Fae or Neverland related, then we can take you there and you won't get in trouble. You won't get hurt.
We don't have to take you back to the fairies.
Yes. If we go back there and we can find out what the contract is, we'll let you go.
Ugh. Well, I
But-
guess like I don't have much of a choice.
wait, I'm so confused.
What's up,
If
Prudence?
Pan broke the contract, how come the contract is still like tying Pan to Neverland? If
Fairy contracts don't like really work that way. Like once it's signed until like the contract is totally ripped up.
oh,
So Pan broke the contract, but we need to physically break the contract.
Yeah, and that's like kind of hard because you need some like serious Fae magic to do it. And I don't think she's got that level of it left. Not as long as she's been retired for.
do you?
No. No, I'm sorry. Tinkerbell is also a title. I'm just like, I like washed pots and pans before I came here. I'm not like a super magic fairy. I just have like the fairy dust, which is, pretty much it.
The fairy dust can do so much stuff.
Well, yeah, I'm sure like that's, to you, but like not like in terms of like in like relation to fairy magic, it's not that good.
What if we took the contract to the fairy court and you could stay with the original Pan while we were there?
We could try that if that's like what you want. I mean, it's at this point up to you, isn't it?
Yep.
Anuj gets very quiet at this point.
So does Riddance.
I
What-
think we should go see the original Pan
I
and get the
think that
contract.
might explain some things for us.
Riddance, what do you think?
I think that I think that everybody should have a choice.
And who do you think doesn't have a choice right now, Riddance?
Burrito Tinkerbell.
Burrito Tinkerbell?
Wow, I like him. He understands. Although you did wrap me in this burrito, but I'm glad that you're like coming around on this.
I'm gonna shoot a quick glance at Burrito Tinkerbell, a warning glance. Stay away from my child.
She shoots one right back at you
I think
Figured.
as best as she can.
Yeah.
Wrapped in our burrito.
I think that if Burrito Tinkerbell or Burrito Bell takes us to the original Pan, then we can let her go and she can do whatever she wants. And then after that, we can try and find our way to the court and figure it out from there.
Do you like promise that you'll let me go when I get you to the original Pan?
I put my hands out before anyone can say anything.
Pratt keeping.
Yeah.
When we get to the original Pan's home safely and unharmed,
All
And-
four of us.
all four of us,
With the contract,
with the contract in hand, and only after we have spoken with Pan, the original Pan, and finished our business there, then we can promise.
Do we need her to bring us back here?
well, she said that the original Pan has some fairy dust, so we should be able to fly to the court
Okay.
from there.
No, that shouldn't be a problem. Okay. All right. But we have to promise on it.
And I'll like hold out my hand, which is really just like a finger. Like,
Pinky promise.
as
Yeah.
long as the above terms are agreed to, then yes, we promise. And I would like them repeated back before we shake on it, please.
Like I wasn't trying to trick you, but that's generally a good rule to follow. So good job.
Thank you.
My
My mother taught me.
yeah, that's that's good. And I always like to see it. Just be careful with promises and stuff. Okay, well, I can't shake your hand right now, but I just want to repeat back and I'll say, you promise that once I get you to the original Pan, all four of you safely, and you discuss your business with her and get the contract in your hands, at that point, I am free to go.
I'm going to look at the rest of the group. Does anyone hear anything that would cause a loophole in that?
Tinkerbell,
Yeah.
respectfully, is that promise going to keep you with us the whole time?
Yeah. I mean, once the promise is made, like I kind of have to stick to it. It's sort of our thing.
Anuj raises their hand and says, they can't tell Pan.
Oh, yeah, I can't really unless they magically show up here right now and I can like shout at them, which I'm telling you, like I will, because
I more mean once it's all over.
I I don't know. I think that's a little unfair. Like I'm basically giving you the keys to everything that I know, and then I don't even get to like defend myself. That kind of sucks.
We're keeping you alive. We're not taking you to the fairy court. And if you choose to go back to Pan after we've accomplished this, then you're free to do so.
And I like can't warn him that like a whole bunch of people are coming to take Neverland from them.
They
Nope.
stole Neverland in the first place. Of
Um,
course people are gonna try to...
You said that Pan originally used it to trick someone into taking Neverland, so comeuppance, I guess.
Justice.
if that's something that you all care about, that's fine, but I don't. Remember, I'm the one that's swaddled here. So I really just, I'm agreeing to your original terms, but once I'm free to go, like, I should be free to do whatever I want.
Exactly. When the terms of this promise and contract have been fulfilled, then you are free to do what you wish.
Well, all right then.
I also want to make sure that it's when our business with the original Pan is concluded to our satisfaction. So when we've decided it's over and we've had our conversation, that's, the end of that.
I think we're going to have to like define that a little bit. Like just a little bit.
When
Like-
I look at you and say, okay, we're done here at the original Pan's place, wherever you're going to lead us to, that's when we decide that we're done. Like, we'll give you the thumbs up. One of us will say, I will say, we're done. You can go.
How about when she gives you the contract and it's released to you?
When one of us, again, when Arlie or I have our hands on that contract.
Pan could hand it to us and that would technically close the terms of the deal.
When we have it physically in our hands, so Pan could hand it to us, but we don't take it.
I could do it. I could have it. That's fine.
When one of the two of you ladies have the contract fully in your hands and no one else has their fingers on it,
How about this?
your possession.
When Tessa and I verbally confirm that our business is concluded, then we'll go. And you can go or stay.
Your business with Pan, the
Pan.
original.
The
Yes,
original.
the original Pan.
Fine. Okay. I can work with that.
Okay.
All right. When your business is concluded with the original Pan, then I'm free to go. You promise.
We promise.
Yes. And you've done all the other stuff in front of it, like
Everybody has to say it.
I say it.
Yes.
You promise?
I promise.
You promise?
Riddance.
Riddance is gonna say I promise with his fingers crossed behind his back.
Yes.
Because someone told Riddance that he's allowed to lie.
That's right.
Whoops.
Okay, one more inspiration to Riddance, please. And well, can I be out of this blanket now? Because I'm not going anywhere.
Yes.
Okay, as who do you
Harley's
unwrap her?
holding it, so it's up to
Yes,
Harley.
I will undo the burrito and allow Tink her freedom.
Okay, she kind of does a little like lap around you a couple of times and says, thank you.
How is Emmy reacting to Tink?
Oh god, I forgot we had Emmy.
Hiding behind behind Tessa's head. And you notice now that Tink is free, the hiding becomes a bit of a cowering and is more like
I'm gonna
Tessa
open
has,
up
like,
my bag.
Massive amount of like curly brown hair. Emmy's probably totally fine to hide behind it.
yeah, Emmy is really hidden. But like as Tink starts to do laps, like and goes and circles around Emmy a few times, Emmy sort of calms down a little bit. All right, well, like we have to get moving. We're leaving Neverland, so is there anything that you need before that happens?
Anuj, do we need to do your ritual first?
We
Or can
can,
it wait?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
We can do that quickly.
The leaf is like kind of settled on the ground next to you with a puddle of water in it.
Okay. Anuj is going to kind of direct everyone to set everything up. Basically, we need to start a fire and make sort of a holding platform for the bowl above it. And Anuj mixes in all the elements, the water, the herbs, and the sand to kind of make it into a mud.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have to add the breath of wind technically. And
All right. I will say Anuj and Riddance make me, because you're both the ones that worked so hard on gathering so many of these materials and discussing this ritual. I will say make me a nature check, both of you.
11 plus 2, 13.
14 plus 1, 15.
Okay. Kind of a group effort there. Riddance, you notice the dead dandelions that the ladies added to the herb pot. Like they kind of stand out in the pile of herbs as not so much herbs as they look like a pretty little flower. And you kind of pick them out and hand them to Anuj. Like, I don't think these are herbs. And Anuj, when you see them, you remember that these flowers are something that kids often like blow on to make wishes, special wishes, and the seeds kind of fly through the air on the breath of wishes, and it kind of feels fitting.
Okay. Anuj would do that, make a wish and blow the seeds. And they wouldn't go into the bowl, they actually go into the fire.
Okay. The seeds kind of fly, catch your breath and flow into the fire, which Riddance makes with actual real magic.
And if it's the correct ingredient, it should turn the fire red.
As soon as the seeds hit, it kind of starts from the top as they hit, and the red kind of takes over the orange of the fire down to the bottom of the flame.
Anuj then makes the paste, sort of mud, in the bowl. Takes the mud and begins to rub it on their face. And then once the bowl is empty of no more mud, takes the rest of the water and fills it up and says, "Okay, good luck to me, I guess. When I come back,
Sorry,
I'll
go
have
ahead.
when I come back, I guess I'll have a new name."
Where are you going?
Well, I'll be here, but I won't be here.
Okay.
It's
Got it.
confusing, but I should be fine.
Like
Okay.
when we
Vince
had
just
the whole
kinda- yeah.
memory thing in the cave.
Yeah, kinda.
Okay.
Rin's just like hops over beside for a second. He's like, you totally got this. It's going to be great. It's going to be the best name ever. Don't even worry about it. And gives a bardic inspiration to Anuj.
And Anuj is going to look very nervous and then I think give you a hug. Riddance.
Yeah, for sure. Just a big one.
And then I will come up and I'll lean in and kind of put our foreheads together, get a little bit of mud on my face. You're brash, but you're a good kid.
Thanks.
And I think you're going to have a great name. And then I'll like rub my forehead a little more.
I walk up to Anuj. You are great. You're gonna be greater. And
that was so much better
do a
than
little
mine.
like forehead boop and give them a little kiss on their forehead.
And Tessa,
Mhm.
I think I made my decision. I think everyone can be good.
I think they can too.
And Anuj is going to step over to the bowl and then submerge their face.
Okay. As you do, Tinkerbell is like, have fun doing whatever you're doing. And you dip your face into the water. Everyone else, it looks to you like Anuj dips their face in the water for a very long second, but then just kind of pulls their face back out. Anuj, to you, you spend about 3 hours. You are, as your face is in the water, you are in a fantastic, it doesn't feel like a dream. It feels very real. Like you are with not just your fathers, but elders that you have only heard stories about, ones that have been passed long before you were born. And they're all there, and they all have their version of the bowl. They all have the paste on their face as though they've all just performed this ritual on their own self for their own name. And they kind of come up to you and put hands on you wherever they can. Your father is, of course, in the center, closest to you, and kind of wrap you in not so much like an affection, but in support. Like they're just trying to hold you up to make this choice, to give you strength and collect with you.
As Anuj stands there with everyone's support, they say their oath. It's an oath of protection, an oath of love forgiveness, kindness, and when they're done saying it, their name hits them.
As soon as you say it, everyone around you kind of stands up, and then the touch has become affection, like they've kind of welcoming, and some are hugs, some are pats, some are from your father's more affectionate kisses and tight squeezes. And they all kind of walk back to pick up their bowls and kind of go back to where they were standing when you first arrived. And you lift your head out of the water. Everyone around you, your friends here, kind of just saw you dunk your head and come back out. We're expecting a little bit more of a scary sight. So, but Anuj is there.
The mud is completely gone from
Mhm.
Anuja's face.
Yep.
As if they'd never had it on in the first place. And they look at you all and say, "So my dad's." And my name is Jehan.
Hello, Jean.
Hello.
Nice to
Hi.
see you all again.
Still wiping dirt off my forehead.
Mhm. And I think just for a moment, Anuj like says a few words, and this aura of like protection surrounds them for a moment.
Absolutely. That all kind of takes so much out of you, but at the same time, you feel that strength. You feel like you have an army standing behind you. And for the rest of you, kind of also feel a little like affected, even though you saw effectively nothing happen. Just kind of being close to something that powerful has kind of rippled out and touched all of you a little. Tink, however, will sit up. She is swinging her legs aggressively while sitting on a tree branch. She is trying to play a dice game with some acorns with Emmy. Emmy is flicking the dice with one of her eye stalks, and it doesn't seem to be going anywhere. She goes, "Okay, well, are we all ready to go?"
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Well, it's been a while since I made this particular trip. Everybody have fairy dust?
Mm-hmm.
Great. Everybody grab a hand.
Grab hands.
Okay. Like tight though, because like I fly fast.
Extra tight.
Okay.
Like fingers interlocking, kind of.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Tink is going to grab with a tiny little finger, grab Riddance by the hand
Mhm.
and shoot up into the sky. All of you go flying up fast, 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 fast as you shoot through and out of Neverland, up away so that it becomes a vision in the distance as you tumble out of its barrier into the sea of stars again, back to when you first arrived. You see the planets all in their colorful clusters. You see these swirling star sequences that are kind of flying about your faces as you hurtle through the stars. And she takes you through and past so many of these unrecognizable planets and systems until you start to near one that gets closer and closer and closer. And you tumble into its atmosphere and land in a very green, very, very green place. It's nighttime. It's dark, but there are lights around, little posts with light coming from them. There are some fences around. Tink flies close to you and says, okay, like, keep it down. Shh. This is, okay. So, we're almost there. I haven't been here in quite a long time. And you look around and you see that there are some people walking about in the distance. No, none of them look like they notice you landing here. They look like they are minding their own business, walking about. You don't really see any fairies nearby as of right now. But Tink says, okay, well, we kind of have to go out from here. We're gonna go in over there to the hedge. Have you ever been small?
Yes, we were
Yeah.
just recently.
Okay, we might have to make you small, but otherwise we gotta hide you. But anyway, welcome to Earth. It's cool, kind of cool place. And we're gonna do this. And that is where we will call our session for today. And we are we are going to pick up again next Saturday, of course. Same time, same place. Let's see, please. I am so excited for all the people who subbed and rated and followed and left us nice comments, and also the folks that gave us some little assistance there earlier. And of course, I just want to thank all the players in this game for being absolutely incredible. I would love it if you would all just say where we can find you and what you do and stuff. Can we start with Russ this time?
Hi, I'm Russ. You can find me on Twitter at Russ Wildest. And you can find me every other Wednesday on the Prism Pals podcast, GMing an all ages LGBTQ plus D&D game. Yeah, we just started season 2. There is a season 1 recap. So if you want to hop in, now's the time to do it. And you can find us on Twitter at Prism Pals, PRISM Pals.
It's a beautiful podcast, and also the audio is like crispy. It's nice. It's really nice. Kate?
Hi, I'm Kate. When you're not seeing me here, you can find me every other Wednesday on Chromatic Chimera's Agora's Bells. I have just recently joined the permanent cast on there with my changeling wizard, Saren. And we will actually be playing next Wednesday, which I'm super excited about. Otherwise, you can find me on Twitter at KatesD8s, where I basically scream into the void about everything, which is pretty much just Animal Crossing at the moment.
Yeah, same. Sarah?
Hi, I'm Sarah. You can find me online at Arclight Phoenix. Please note that Phoenix has no vowels in it on Twitter. And you can mostly find me here on Saturdays. I am joining Welcome to the Party side quests this upcoming Monday at 9:30 Eastern. We're playing a game called Traction Park, and I know nothing about it, so it's going to be grand. Yeah.
Excellent. And Morgan.
Hi, I'm Morgan. You can find me on Twitter at rmorganslade or YouTube at rmorganslade if you're into nerdy sea shanties, which is apparently a thing I do now. So.
Yeah. Nerdy sea shanties.
You do
So
very
good.
well.
Mhm. And Morgan.
And okay, all right. Sorry, big thing. March 30th. There is a DM's Guild release called Unbridled that I am a part of. I have an adventure in it. There's I think 19 adventures with hags and unicorns and hags riding unicorns, and it's just incredibly. Oh my gosh, you got to check it out.
All right. And I'm Diana. You can find me here. You can find me on Twitter at Super Dylan, Femsplain Podcast, or Femsplained here on Twitch. And please watch, because when we're done with this campaign, you can buy the Neverland setting and play a game in Neverland for yourself and your own home party. We also want to remind you that you should definitely check out the Welcome to the Party Discord channel and Welcome to the Party on Patreon. We also want to thank again our super awesome patrons, Jack, Nerdy, Donald, and Michelle. And let's see, do we know who we're going to raid? I think we're going to raid Jess at go_JG. So if you are raiding with us, which I hope you do, I would really love it if we would give a little bangerang in the chat when we get there, just so that they know that the lost ones have entered the chat. And we will see you all next Saturday. Yay! I'm really excited. All righty. How to raid? I don't know the answer. Thanks, Black Kevin.
I think the raid is already happening.
Yeah,
It
raid has already happened.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, great.
All right, I did it.
Cool.
So that was wonderful.
Throck had
and
to
unex-
fix my moderation settings. That's why I couldn't do it last time.
Okay.
You're all good, and I'm gonna.
Nice.
How was everybody? That was a thing.
That was
a thing that
It
happened.
was.
Really good.
Thanks, Diana, for that whole thing.
Thank all of you.
Yeah.